In this 10-minute video, I want to talk to you about finances. Now don't switch off, because I really hope you will find it both exciting and engaging. We want to give you some insight into our plans for the future, but also be real about the financial position we find ourselves in as a church. Now we will be asking for money to aid our work and the works of other supporting needed families in our community in another, more public video. But in this video, I want to talk specifically to you, a church member or committed attendee, about growing our online ministry and securing the church's financial future. So if you're sitting comfortably, I will begin. These past few months have been a strange time where our normal routines have been forever changed, and we have had to adjust the way we live our lives, communicate with one another and build relationships. For us at Hawley Baptist Church, the COVID situation has had a massive impact, and we've had to rapidly adapt the way we function due to the huge restrictions placed upon us. And this has meant that for the first time in the history of the church, it was no longer possible to meet physically, and our church buildings had to be shut. With our ministries being so focused on our buildings, this came as a shock to all of us, and we've all missed the social aspects of church, along with meeting together in corporate worship. Fortunately, we were ahead of the game with regards to creating an online service, the first of which took place 2 weeks ahead of lockdown. And over these past 5 months, we have learnt new skills and adapted to the new normal that we find ourselves in, realizing that we will be in this situation for a lot longer than we ever envisaged, and things will never fully go back to how they were. However, there has been a silver lining in all this, and we have been awakened to the exciting possibilities of online outreach. Here are a few facts and figures for you. Our YouTube channel currently gets about 2,000 views per month, with roughly 200 to 300 views of our weekly service. And each view is at least one person, but could be more. On Facebook, we currently have 419 followers, and posts are being viewed about 300 times each day. For example, our Friday night worship last week has reached 613 people in less than 4 days. Now these are figures that we could never have dreamt of before lockdown. And although these numbers are not the same as church attendance, and much work needs to be done to turn those clicks and views into disciples, I think we can all agree that online ministry is an area that deserves our attention and our investment. The problem is that we want to invest at a time when financially these months of lockdown have had a huge detrimental effect on our church finances. Although our monthly giving has remained relatively stable, and we are so thankful to you for your continued giving, it remains well below budget, and our income from lettings has hit rock bottom. Unfortunately, it will be a long time before we can return to full letting capacity because of social distancing and the need to clean after each use of our building. So there will be a significant shortfall there. This means that we find ourselves in a budget deficit. Despite use of the government's furlough scheme, overall this financial year we predict a shortfall in our accounts of about £18,000. And this will worsen when the furlough scheme comes to an end next month. Fortunately, we have reserves that mean that we haven't fallen into the red, but with the upturn in lettings being slow, our future finances are looking problematic. So how do we go forward? At times like these, there is a temptation to button down the hatches and ride out the storm, to cut spending and to minimize our activity. But as the elders, we want to put God's mission at the forefront of all we do, despite financial constraints, recognizing that if we are faithful to the task God has given us, then God will be faithful to us and provide all that we need. So in the short term, we are looking to make the following investments. Number one, the Further Faster network. At the beginning of the year, we started a conversation with a UK church network called Further Faster, whose aims are to provide coaching, content and connection for leaders who want to grow their church by reaching unchurched people. When lockdown hit, straight away they started a series of webinars that showed practically how to create online church, along with other webinars such as how to preach online, how to do online small groups, and asking that question, what will your church look like after lockdown? Now, I can't understate how important this has been to me personally, but involvement with this network has been a literal godsend and has had a massive influence on how we have shaped our online content. We have been given the opportunity to join this network, where we will gain many resources, but also start relationships with like-minded churches who are seeking to use what they have to reach the unchurched. Now, we could still access these webinars for free, but if we want to invest in our church and others in the network, we would need to pay £2,000 for a year's trial starting this September. We would love to do this, but our current financial position makes this difficult. And number two, equipment. It's amazing what you can do with a modern smartphone, and much of our online content has been produced in our homes with a phone and some basic editing software. However, as we emerge from lockdown, we will be looking at our online services and how we can move from merely surviving to producing something which is increasingly professional. Initially, this may mean creating some kind of studio in a church building, but we will need to gradually invest in some more professional equipment. For example, a basic lighting setup would cost between £100 and £500. An entry-level semi-professional video camera will cost between £1,000 and £2,000. We'd love to do this, but our current financial position makes this difficult. This is where you can help. Whilst encouraging God's people to tithe, the prophet Malachi shared these words from God. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that you will not have enough room for it. As followers of Jesus Christ, we recognize that all we have comes from God. And in order to give thanks and help build God's kingdom in our locality, we give to the church. God provides for his mission through the generous and sacrificial giving of his people. And the miraculous thing is that God promises that if we give to him, he will bless us in return. That we will receive from God much, much more than we could ever give to him. He is a good Father who loves us and wants to bless us. So I would encourage you to give to God's work here in Hawley and beyond. Giving is a spiritual discipline, not a legal requirement, and therefore regular giving to the church or a tithe of 10% of your income is to be encouraged but not expected. And we recognise that all of us are in different financial situations, and we would never expect you to give beyond your means. But for some of you, this year's circumstances have reduced your spending, and you find yourself in a better financial position than normal. If that's you, then we would ask that you consider giving a financial gift to the church. Now, one-off financial gifts will be useful for us in the short term as we look to invest in our online ministry and purchase the resources we need in this time of transition. A new regular monthly tithe or an increase in your current giving will provide us with better financial resilience and protect us in these uncertain times. We don't know what the future holds, but I am excited because I know that God is working with us to build his kingdom, So please give as you feel able, not under a feeling of compulsion, but because you are thankful to God for all He has given you, excited about the opportunities we face, and expectant that God's kingdom will break through in amazing and unexpected ways. Thank you. If you would like to donate some money via a bank transfer, please transfer to Hawley Baptist Church, sort code 405240, and account number 0001762. Alternatively, if you'd like to pay by cheque, then write the cheque to Hawley Baptist Church and pop it in the church letterbox.